lines, and now Mickey Riemann starts to miss Budweiser with a puff of smoke out of her Rolls-Royce engines and takes to the course, as does the Pride of Fan Pack. Roger Deep, who will race against his brother Tommy in this race, takes out to Miss Shenandoah, representing Tucson, Arizona, and Miami, Florida. Let's see who'll take the buoy line. It looks like it's going to be George Henley. He's hugging those buoys. Budweiser will go in lane 2, Atlas Van Lines in lane 3, Miss US in lane 4, followed on the outside by Oh Boy Alberto and the Miss Shenandoah. As they come down to the start, Bill Munsey's right up there, but the US goes across the line first on the outside. That is Tommy Deep from Detroit, Michigan. Here is a great shot. Slow motion. Bill Munsey on the inside in Atlas Van Lines. Tommy Deep on the outside in the Miss US. And it's Henley in the national defending champion taking the lead down the next chute before 1/2 a lap is over. And look out, Shenandoah's got a problem, blowing an engine. He's put up a smoke screen. Oil is spilling out. And we've got a smoke screen as these boats at 170 mile an hour down that straightaway will have to fight the smoke screen. Tommy Deep has just won Miss US. Has to go down and pick up the buoy. That'll put the Atlas Van Lines now in second place. Look at the smoke come off the Shenandoah. He's really cooked an engine. And here comes our leader right through the fog, right in the daylight, not giving up. From Eatonville, Washington, George Henley driving the Pride of Fan Pack, looking for his first win today and 400 points. Here comes Miss Budweiser, Mickey Riemann. Looks like Mickey from our helicopter view has a problem. Yes! He digs his left sponson. He's broken something. He spinned earlier. That might have really caused a problem. He may even be in danger of sinking. That nose goes down. And he's going to get out of that cockpit quick. Take a look. Meanwhile, our leader coming down the front straightaway, 168 mile an hour on the scanner. He's bouncing around, but George Henley sticking his foot right in that accelerator. Mickey Riemann looks toward the referee, Bill Newton, waves, I'm okay, but I need immediate attention for my boat. Now the checker flag is out. The Pride of Fan Pack will pick up 400 points. A great rivalry exists here today between George Henley, driver of the Fan Pack, and Weissfield's Billy Shoemaker, who's trying to outdo his former teammates.
Of course, I used to drive the Pan Pack, and that's one boat that I want to beat very badly. And of course, Herensberger has made sure that his crew and driver are pumped up enough to where they don't want me to win either. So there's a little bit extra in there. There's no question about it. The competition is going to be tough. They run hard in the first lap and probably even harder on the last lap. So it's going to be a tough race all the way through.
I think it's the truth. You think it is?
Yeah.
I mean, you guys going to really be out there to shoot each other down?
Not to shoot each other down, just to end up out in front of each other.
Captain Marvel. What's Marvel?
Captain Rambo.
Serious? Oh, he likes to make a grand entrance.
You know it. An Avenger returns.
Hey, it's a tremendous competition, and there's a lot of racing that takes place before the start of each race. You're trying to time your start perfectly, number one, but you're also trying to find a lane that's strategically sound in your interest as a result of watching all the boats qualifying all year long. So here's a whole bunch of boats with a great time start.
And as they hit the line, it is the Weissfield, followed the Pan Pack, Miss US, Super Cinder, Hams Bear, and Sonny Jim. As they go into corner number 1, George Henley has the Pride of Pan Pack out in front, but he's going to get a challenge this time, swinging wide to the outside, Miss US with Tommy Deep.
He's running a turbocharged Allison against the Rolls-Royce, but the Rolls-Royce has been a strong engine. There's good competitive engine over a period of years, and it's the kind of thing that I'm not convinced the Allisons can really beat them.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. We have a battle going on for second place, but our leader is really smooth down the front chute now to complete lap number 1 at over 118.421. And I believe, Bill, that'd be over 170 mile an hour.
Yeah, but more important. Oh, look out! The Pan Pack just grabbed the right non-trip and spun almost into the first corner. George Henley made a great recovery. He didn't miss that buoy. He didn't have to pick it up. He's able to get the boat back on plane and moving beautifully down that chute.
You think he might have hurt his engine? You think he might have hurt his engine, Bill?
Well, I don't know. You can take a little water there, and well, it looks like maybe, hey, the U.S. is coming on pretty strong going by. Maybe he's having a little minor malfunction at this point.
Could he have loaded up and have a little time to clear out?
That's possible. It'll take a shoot to clean it up. Let's see if he does it.
Okay, right now, Miss U.S. is out in front by about a half a boat length, as you can see, as they start down the front chutes where they get really honk on it. Now they get on the nitrous button, go from 100 to 170 mile an hour in about 6 seconds, and both boats are side by side. Look at those rooster tails. That's a thing of beauty here on the Columbia River, and they're just about side by side as they come down here now to complete lap number 4.
Now you'll notice that Tom DeEves on the right side of your screen is moving a little deeper in the corner, and in the meantime, Weisfield is moving up from backside, so it's going to be a tight race for first, second, and third.
A lot of water being sprayed there on those turns as they really slide in. They go into a turn about 140 mile an hour and come out about 100, then have to get on that nitrous button, which actually explodes that engine into power. Tommy Deep is getting a good ride, trying to catch the pride of Pan Pac, but I don't know if he'll do it this day, Bill. Right now, we still have that side-by-side battle with Miss U.S. on the outside. On the tight buoy line is your defending national champion, the pride of Pan Pac, and what a race they're giving the fans here today.
Hey,
only about 10 foot apart, Bill. That's close.
These two pounds are running side-by-side beautifully. They're running strong, they're running fast, they're accelerating beautifully, they're throwing rooster tails a mile high. This competition is one of the closest we've had all day long.
And we're now on the final lap, as the green flag has gone out to signify one more lap, and our leader by about a boat length at this point running outside, Tommy Deeth and Miss U.S. But I noticed something, Bill. On the inside boat, the Pride of Pan Pac, it looks like your stabilizing ring on the back, the boat on the inside there on our picture, it looks like it's loose.
Well, it certainly is slowing him down, and the Miss U.S. is back off a little bit. Deeth went in a little too hard and a little too deep and isn't going to come off.
Hello, Patrick Mahomes.
Wait, who do you even play for?
T-Mobile. And I'm here to protect you from wireless companies.
No, we're way up here. I'm so geeked to turn Santa into a family business. And I believe that Cal is going to be the next Santa. But who's Magnus Antis?
15 seconds to the 5-minute mark.
Very interested to see what the Joker's boat is going to be able to do. They were incrementally making adjustments, picking up a little speed. Hopefully they can get a good show here.
5 minutes, and the boats are heading out of the pits.
Yes, they are.
Right over to Tire Factory, turn number 2.
First boat coming out.
What's going on, everybody? What's going on? It is your boy Seattle Rick 206, aka that one Luke, aka we call him Slick. We are running the 2022-2023 programs at Hydro 2D Racing. Now, Hydro 2D Racing. Let's get it. 3 minutes, 40 seconds to the start. 3 minutes, 40 seconds to the start. Hydro 2D Racing, baby. Let's go. Let's get it, y'all. 3 minutes, 15 seconds. 3 minutes, 15 seconds. Let's get it, y'all. 3 minutes, 15 seconds. 3 minutes, 15 seconds. It should sound a lot better now. My bad, y'all. My bad. It should sound a lot better now. My bad, y'all. My bad. 1 minute, 55 seconds left. 1 minute, 55 seconds to the start. One minute to the start. 1 minute to the start. We're going to drive to home street.
So in lane number one, you've got Bernard in the 91, lane number two, 10 seconds in. Lane number three is going to be J. Michael Kelly. Lane number four will be Dave Villwock. He's early. He's early. He jumped the gun by 3 seconds. 2-1 mark, and it looks like a clean start. And it's J. Michael Kelly leading as they come down the front stretch. He's in lane number three.
Bernard's going to get down there first, but you guys called him across the line. That is J. Michael Kelly. He's now almost a full rooster tail on Villwock, and then it's back to Nielsen in fourth.
Here now as they round Tire Factory turn turn number 2. As you mentioned there, Bill Walk again leading right now, but it'll be interesting to see how this plays out as we've got now coming up on the outside, that orange and black of the Miss Beacon Plumbing trying to close some ground.
Yeah, Dave Vilwalk is trying to run down J. Michael Kelly, but on the backstretch, J. Michael Kelly's got the boat speed. Your race leader out on the course is Bernard in the Goodman Real Estate 91, the black and gold boat, but he was early across the start-finish line. The review is underway upstairs officially.
Official jump. He jumped it. That's an official from the H1.
So the 91, and we got it as good 3 seconds early at the start-finish line, just out of shape after cutting through the Esco Electric infield. He will cross start-finish line first at the end of lap number 1. J. Michael Kelly in second place. The Miss Tri-Cities
148.46 the first lap.
The third place boat is Dave Vilwalk, but he's second because of the penalty for going early for the Goodman Real Estate 91. Jamie Nielsen has not been able to find good boat speed, and he is the trailing boat heading down into All Doors Incorporated turn number 1.
Yeah, now here at Tire Factory, turn number 2, same situation. We do seem to see that orange and black boat closing a little bit of ground now. We mentioned Bernard with that early start. Not so much incentive, perhaps, to keep going, but to be determined now as they work along the Griggs backstretch towards Pacific Energy turn 3.
J. Michael Kelly is going to go ahead and pass Bernard in lane number 2 and head around the top end of the course. Shell Sun Pacific Energy turn number 3 into White's Finished Furniture turn number 4. And our Buffalo Brothers friends in turn 4. Pretty good racing action. J. Michael Kelly is going to claim the lead away from Bernard as they come across the start-finish line, and the white flag is out. One more lap to go, and it does not look like Dave Vilwalk will have enough boat speed or enough real estate to challenge. J. Michael Kelly getting a little bit out of shape coming down the front stretch into All Doors turn number 1.
Yeah, he's getting down here to the entrance pit right now. He's got almost 2 rooster tails on Dave Vilwalk. Dave Vilwalk is running third on the water. He is in second place there.
Yeah, again, at this point, it does seem like a J. Michael Kelly's to lose, but stranger things have happened. He's got about a rooster tail, maybe a rooster tail and a half lead.
A little bit of rough water for the Goodman Real Estate 91 and Jeff Bernard heading through a sloppy turn number 2. Back up the back stretch, it is a 2 rooster tail lead for your racing leader. That's J. Michael Kelly. Lynx Healthcare presents Miss Tri-Cities. Into Sun Pacific Energy, Shell Sun Market turn number 3 to the exit pin of White's Finished Furniture turn number 4 and onto the front stretch. Checkered flag is out. Dave Vilwalk is going to pass up Bernard in turn number 4, but swings way out wide. Bernard may be able to hold him off on the front stretch. Across the start-finish line, checkered flag is out. J. Michael Kelly gets heat number 1 victory. Second place will go to Dave Vilwalk in the Miss Beacon Plumbing. Third place will be Jamie Nielsen. And again, the Goodman Real Estate boat in the 91, a little bit early across the start for Jeff Bernard.
A good boat ride.
Unfortunate series of events for Bernard, cutting across the...
It was a bold move.
The DMZ, the Esco DMZ, but if he would have continued, he would have been able to stay clean and maybe have good momentum at start-finish. That's...
Brad, you were...
U9, J. Michael Kelly.
Hey guys, I'm Danny, owner of Freedom Boat Club. I'm Keith, the membership executive, and we believe life is better on the...
Kelly's ride. Lynx Healthcare presents Miss Tri-Cities because he's pulled his foot on it now, but he came out of the pit area like a house of fire. And he ran hard up the backstretch. Now he's pulled his foot and backed way down, and in fact, is he... How far down is he?
Down. What kind of a message would it send if J. Michael Kelly can go 2 for 2? This is the race everybody's talking about, Home Street and Dave Vilwalk. But what happens if J. Michael Kelly just says, what about me?
What about me? And that's why we go race him on the water.
Well, he wants lane number 1 again because that's where he's parking. It's early yet as they come across the Mosteller Memorial start-finish line. It'll be Jamie Nielsen.
3:30. 3 minutes, 30 seconds.
And Nielsen may be doing a little bit of a crossover as he heads down to All Doors Incorporated, turn number 1. Jimmy Shane comes across start-finish now. And then still up at the top end of the course, just at the exit pin of turn number 4 is Dave Vilwalk in the 40 Beacon Plumbing.
Kind of looks like maybe Mike, JMK, in that Miss Tri-Cities presented by Lynx Healthcare. Like they had some timing marks they wanted to hit, but to hit the timing marks, he had to come blow up to the top end first. And if that's the case, then he had the opportunity to get right on him. Right in front of you, Derek, J. Michael Kelly on the inside. Here comes Jimmy Shane in the home street.
Obviously a huge story for them, but a little further on up the backstretch. Huge, obviously, for Miss Jokers Casino and Nielsen Company. They didn't get to really do a whole lot yesterday. Crews were hard at work looking to redeem themselves.
Billwalk jumps through the ESCO Electric infield to the backstretch. Go ahead, Derek.
Just talking a bit about Nielsen and how that team now will have to redeem themselves from that disqualification that they had earlier on in the first heat. It's good to be out on the water, of course. They didn't get out here yesterday, but to me, that's the big redemption arc here in this race.
2 minutes and 15 seconds. Nielsen at the top end of the course at the apex between 3 and 4.
Does it look like they're going 80 miles an hour?
Well, that's a good point.
I like the timing on this a whole lot better.
Dave Villwalk jumps through the ESCO Electric infield, and he'll jump right behind Jamie Nielsen.
And then he'll float
and
out
then
wide.
come way out wide.
Wow.
That is different.
Yeah. You thought he was going to come across the infield there and tie himself into an inside lane. No, he went right in front of everybody and said, I'm going all the way to the outside.
We've got some slow boats coming down the front stretch. Nielsen in lane 1. Kelly lane 2.
1 minute,
Shane
30
in
seconds.
lane 3.
90
Villwalk
seconds,
in
Mark.
lane 4 on the outside. As they head to All Doors Incorporated, turn number 1 at 1:20.
Yeah, I think that's much better this time for Jamie Nielsen. And Dave clearly wanted to be on the outside. He was a little worried about his timing, but he wanted to get to the outside. He found a way to do it. He did. Derek, they're right in front of you. You got all 4 at a minute 5.
Yeah, that we did. It does look like Nielsen's going to stick to that lane 1 on the inside, hugging real close to the turnman. Villwalk content to be outside, and it looks like Miss Tri-City is going to be that number 3 spot with J. Michael Kelly, and then, or in lane 2 rather, and then lane 3 coming down the backstretch is Jimmy Shane in that bright blue Miss Home Street U1 boat.
Well, this is eerily similar to the Dash for Cash in that you have Villwalk on the outside and Jimmy Shane just inside of him in lane number 3. Clock at 37 seconds to the start of Heat 2. Nielsen, lane number 1. In the 11, Jokers Casino, lane number 2. The 9, Links Healthcare presents Miss Tri-Cities with J. Michael Kelly. Lane number 3, Home Street, the 1, Miss Madison. And Jimmy Shane, and on the outside, the U40, Beacon Plumbing with Dave Villwalk.
It's a testament to the speed of these amazing machines. They just don't look like they're going at least 80 miles an hour, and they are. He's putting his foot into it. Here we go.
8 seconds. 5 seconds as they come down the front stretch.
Shane's got the boat speed.
1 mark.
Good start.
It's a clean start, and it's going to be Jimmy Shane leading in lane number 3 as they come down the front stretch. But look at Villwalk on the outside. He's challenging. J. Michael Kelly's got good boat speed in lane number 2. It's a good start.
Wow, Jimmy Shane with a line. Oh, there goes Davey.
Oh! Dave Villwalk and a blowover. All Doors Incorporated, turn number 1. Up in the air. Did a complete 360 and landed right side up.
Dave was really flying the boat coming down the front straightaway. The boat picked up on him, and when he got into the corner, just as he started to set up for it, the right side of the boat picked up. The lid has been popped open. Man, the fans are going nuts. Big cheers here as the lid goes up on the U40. We'll keep our thoughts with Mr. Villwalk. But that was pretty dramatic. The right side of the boat picked up, and when you go into the corner like that and expose that right side, and if you pick up the right side of it, you don't have to get very high before the air just decides where you're going to go, and you're done with it.
Very dramatic.
Dave is getting himself out of the boat. Now he is standing on the deck.
Obviously a good sign.
That's a great sign.
Wow. And that corner, this number 1 turn here, number 2 turn here on the Columbia River, has historically not been nice to Dave Villwalk. Good to see him standing on the deck of the boat.
Was it 98?
7.
97?
97.
He had the crash in the turn number 2 area?
It happened right in front of me in 1997 in turn 2.
Yeah, that was a dramatic event. But this is a different one. And I'm just going to throw this out there because I know Dave. I know what type of a competitor he is. There's part of him right now that is saying, I need to take a look at the boat, get me in. we're not done with this thing yet.
Yeah, well, we've seen it before.
We have seen it before. There has been a thing called a flip and win. And this format would play right into that, but I think we've got the cart way out in front of the horse on this. We look at the back of the boat, the wing and the fairings are gone, but trust me, that is all cosmetic.
Yeah, and it looks like some of the crews in one of the rescue sleds may be headed to pick up some of the pieces. Yep, they're pulling it on board now.
Yeah, there was one piece that even before the spray went back down and settled back into the Columbia, there was one piece of the boat, I don't remember it being terribly large, but there was one visible piece that we could see. We had a tremendous view of it here from the pit tower. I don't know, Derek, if you could see much from over there, because there were other boats inside you. But, and Mike, did you get any type of a look?
Just, you could see the bottom of the boat. I mean, we saw rooster tails, and then all of a sudden the orange and black boat was up in the air.
Exactly. We saw.
What a great sight to see this Saturday afternoon.
That it is, as they make now the home street boat with Jimmy Shane rounding Tire Factory turn number 2. Man, that thing can just fly, and they all look so seamless out there. Again, J. Michael Kelly and Miss Tri-City is hugging that inside lane, and we do have Miss Joker's Casino looking for their redemption run. After they finished third, they were disqualified for falling under 80 in that first heat, so they've got a lot to fight for here as well.
Coming up the backstretch, Jimmy Shane. He's on the outside, and I think that's where he's going to stay. He set up in lane number 3 last time when they were out there with Bill Walk outside. See if Jimmy jumps to the inside, and it looks like maybe he's jumping across the DMZ. Esco Electric infield to the front stretch. Clock at 2:17.
He's early. He's early. He better have his foot in it, and
well,
he does. He does. Wow. He's going to come all the way down. Now he may make a hard left-hand turn.
I think he's going to. He is. He's going to take the turn for the Grand Prix boats over to the backside. So another Esco Electric infield incursion. Jimmy Shane heads to the backstretch. Meanwhile, on the front stretch, with 1:50, you've got J. Michael Kelly in the 9.
Tell me when he crosses start-finish.
And that would be now. And
okay.
He's not going really fast either. And Brad, they have telemetry readings for the 80-mile-an-hour situation, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay, so it's all being monitored.
So here comes Mike down to the lower end at $125 right now. I think he's in pretty good shape. He'll have to stay at 80 miles an hour for a bit. He gets right to the entrance pin now at 117. Then it's going to be Jamie Nielsen in the Joker's Casino. He's going to slot himself into lane number 2. Jimmy Shane's going to wind this blue and white boat up hard on the outside. Derek, he's starting to put the foot down a little bit, but we're coming up on 1 minute to the start of heat 2.
J. Michael Kelly just coming off the exit pin of turn number 2, Tire Factory turn number 2 in lane number 1. Then you've got Jamie Nielsen in lane 2 on the outside. The home street with Jimmy Shane in lane number 3 as they
45 seconds. 45 seconds.
And they are directly across from the start-finish line here at the Brunsman's Memorial Barge. It's the parade lap. Do they have any indication in the cockpit on that 80-mile-an-hour situation too, Brad?
Yes, they do.
All right, so they're well aware of that when it does occur. Back up to the top end of the course into Sun Pacific Energy Shell Sun Market turn number 3. J. Michael Kelly to the apex in lane number 1.
15 seconds, Mark, 15.
That's the 9. Lynx Healthcare presents Miss Tri-Cities lane number 2. Miss Joker's Casino with Jamie Nielsen lane 3. Miss Madison
5.
Home Street
4.
1 with Jimmy Shane
3, 2, 1. Mark.
It is a perfectly clean start from our vantage point. On the outside, that's where you find the boat speed. But look at Jamie Nielsen. He's in the tunnel. He's going to try to take second place away from J. Michael Kelly.
Yeah, but he's not going to be able to do it when they get down. And they get down here absolutely dead even. And I'll tell you what, Jimmy Shane's way on the outside, Derek.
Don't know what happened to Derek in Tire Factory turn number 2, but we'll take over from here as they get to the exit pin. Jamie Nielsen really backed out on the throttle. Looks like he may have lost some power heading into Tire Factory turn number 2. So on the backstretch, you've got Shane in the lead on the outside. J. Michael Kelly, he's about, 3 boat lengths back as they come up that backstretch, the Griggs Ace Hardware backstretch, and dive into Sun Market turn number 3. Both Boats into the turn to the apex with Rattlesnake Mountain. A little bit hazy this afternoon in the backdrop. They get to the exit pin of White's Furniture and Hardwoods, turn number 4. They are deck to deck. Jimmy Shane is going to squirt forward and take the lead away as they come to the start-finish line and across at 159.061 miles per hour. It's Jimmy Shane with the lead in the home street, heading into All Doors Incorporated, turn number 1.
Home street, Jimmy Shane rocks the Sponsons to the entrance pin of the corner, but Kelly staying right with him on the inside, Derek.
So it's on the inside, J. Michael Kelly with the short course around, and he was able to reel in Jimmy Shane just a little bit, but Shane starts to pull away on the backstretch. This is where you really watch on the Griggs backstretch to see which boat has the power, and right now it's Jimmy Shane in the home street, and he is starting to pull away, almost a full rooster tail lead. Now, J. Michael Kelly has the opportunity to cut in that lead as they head into Shell Sun Market turn number 3. To the apex. J. Mike with a really nice turn on the inside, hugging the buoy line, but Jimmy Shane with boat speed on the outside, and he's going to be impossible to catch in that one home street as they come across the Mosteller start-finish line. It's a half a rooster tail lead for Jimmy Shane coming down the front stretch.
Yeah, it is Jimmy Shane, and he is showing some incredible speed, and he's also letting J. Michael Kelly know, yeah, I let you get on the inside of me, and you still can't run with me. Home street back, Jimmy Shane.
Easily a rooster tail length lead now. Sorry guys about that delay. We're back in action here at turn number 2. Generator ran out of fuel, but we're good. So it is that home street boat again, a rooster tail length lead over Miss Tri-Cities and J. Michael Kelly now as they enter the Griggs backstretch.
Yeah, and the white flag out on the course for Jimmy Shane in Heat 2 in the Miss Madison.
Jimmy Shane's first lap of 159 miles an hour. I believe that's going to be another course record in a heat qualifier, if I'm not mistaken. So it's the cream of the field right now for Jimmy Shane. Just an incredible boat ride. He's bringing it home, Mike.
And off the exit pin of White's Finished Furniture and Hardwoods, turn number 4. Jimmy Shane onto the front stretch. Checkered flag is out. Home street gets the victory with Jimmy Shane in the Miss Madison. Second place, J. Michael Kelly in the Lynx Healthcare presents Miss Tri-Cities the 9. Jamie Nielsen just getting into turn number 3, the Shell Sun Market turn to the apex, and now to turn number 4. Hello to our Buffalo Brothers friends upstreams. Hope you're having a good time enjoying boat racing on the Columbia River. Jimmy Shane on the outside, and he's been willing all weekend long to.
And it's good to see Nielsen in that bright yellow Miss Joker Casinos one leading the pack here for now as they just get set, get ready, and try and get ready for this. Of course, we know Jimmy Shane with that possible record set in the heat last, was it yesterday? Should be an interesting tone to watch here again now as they get set up here coming now round Tire Factory turn 2 all the way down the Griggs backstretch toward that Sun Pacific Energy turn 3 marker.
Now the Grand Prix America boats, they have assigned lanes. The E350s, they don't, and obviously the H1 Unlimiteds, they don't. So the race before the race is underway with 3 minutes and 40 seconds to the start of Unlimited Heat number 3. And it looks like, yep, cutting across the Esco Electric infield was Bernard in the Goodman Real Estate 91.
Earlier during the boat races, he cut across way too early yesterday. Not only got disqualified, not only had the 80-mile-an-hour violation, but also jumped the gun by almost 3 full seconds by our count.
That was an error that I'm sure they reviewed and took a look at video to retake your marks out on the course, your timing marks, and make sure you don't do that again. Learn from your mistake.
So far, Jimmy Shane has made 0 mistakes this boat race weekend. Doesn't matter if he's on the inside or the outside. Of course, he's got the gear, he's got the prowess. He's definitely the guy to beat. All the drivers know that coming into today's competition.
Check out that move by Jamie Nielsen right there. He cut the course. Bernard came all the way down here to the bottom. Jamie was on the outside of Jeff, and he cut the lower end of the race course off. Now finds himself on the inside and a little bit out in front of Mr. Bernard.
2 minutes and 35 seconds to the start of Heat 3 for the H1 Unlimited's Hapo Columbia Cup action.
Boy, and since we've been racing yesterday, Jimmy Shane in the U1 home street has been on a first-name basis with those outside course markers.
Yep.
Derek, he was right up against him.
Oh, yeah, and that continues to be the case. Hey, he's found where he likes out on the course, and it seems to be working for him. I think one of the more interesting situations here that we'll have to be watching for with Jamie Nielsen and, of course, the U91 Goodman Real Estate boat as well is those timing on those starts. And I think both actually were disqualified from some heats yesterday for falling under 80 miles per hour in these earlier rounds in this race before the race.
Exactly. Well, I can tell you right now, those two guys coming down the front straightaway are in a pretty good spot.
Yeah, they went way out wide at the exit pin of White's Finished Furniture and Hardwood's turn number 4 to scruff off a little bit more speed. They're just across start-finish line now.
Jamie Neal. He's running, he's doing the S curves.
He's going to jump. No, he's going to just kind of do that S move, that snake move down that straightaway to obviously stay above 80 if he can and be in the right position if he can.
When you're on the outside like Jimmy Shane is prone to do, obviously you're covering more area, but when you're diving into turn 1, there's just not that much water there. What's the advantage of staying outside with that boat speed, Brad?
Clean water. Clean water's the big one there. If you've got enough boat speed to field to drive around everybody, if you can get clean water out there, then you can go for it. Coming up on 1 minute, I think they're going to be okay. Also looks like Bernard's going to be on the outside. And this time, Jimmy Shane will tuck in the center position unless he moves out now. Watch him, Derek. And I think he just did.
He did. He just jumped the wake. He's now moved to that outside lane. Staying right where he likes, as you mentioned, Brad, that cleaner water.
Well, that's where he won yesterday, lane number 3. So on the inside, the 11 Jokers Casino with Jamie Nielsen. Lane number 2 will be the Goodman Real Estate 91 Miss Madison with Jeff Bernard. The other Miss Madison boat, the 1 Home Street with Jimmy Shane in lane number 3 as they head up the Griggs Ace Hardware backstretch. Nielsen in 1, Bernard in 2, Shane in 3. Countdown is on. 18 seconds to the start of Heat 3 as they come to the apex and now around the exit pin of turn number 4 with our Buffalo Brothers friends in the camp up at turn number 4. Hitting the throttle now. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark. Ooh, it's a really clean start. That was really close for all the boats. The boat speed note's on the outside. Jamie Nielsen's on the inside track. He'll get down there first, but look at the outside boat, the Home Street. It's a clean start, by the way. It's a good start.
Absolutely. It was a good start down to the lower corner. It was Bernard that got down here first with lane position, Derek.
Yeah, phenomenal start and phenomenal turns here as now Bernard looks like he was taking the lead out of that turn 2, but along the Griggs backstretch here, that Home Street boat, Jimmy Shane, we know he's quick and he looks to be now pulling ahead.
Yeah, but watch Bernard in lane number 2. He's going to challenge Jimmy Shane as they come up the Griggs Ace Hardware backstretch. They'll be diving into Sun Pacific Energy, Shell Sun Market, turn number 3, and it's Bernard with the lead, at least for now. Jamie Nielsen's in lane number 1. He'll gain a little ground on that inside lane as they come to the exit pin of turn number 4. It's the Goodman Real Estate boat with the lead by about 4 boat lengths over Jimmy Shane. Nielsen falling back a little bit in 3rd place now, about a half rooster tail back of the leaders. Now it's Shane challenging on the outside in the Home Street. He's going to pass Bernard as they head into All Doors Incorporated turn number 1.
Madison Racing running 1-2, just not sure which one's first. It would be the Goodman Real Estate 91 with Jeff Bernard.
Oh, and they are close, but Jimmy Shane dances those sponsons a little bit in that turn. He lost a little bit. He'll have to make it up here along this Griggs backstretch where he's got that speed on the outside. Meanwhile, Miss Joker's Casino boat, Jamie Nielsen, still hanging out in that third about a rooster tail back.
Jeff Bernard, first lap speed, 149.3. Second place, the Home Street, 147.2.
Deck-to-deck racing, Sun Market, turn number 3 into Woods Finished Furniture, turn number 4, deck-to-deck with Goodman Real Estate on the inside, Miss Home Street on the outside. It's Jimmy Shane challenging at the Mosteller start-finish line, and he will regain the lead coming down the front stretch. And this is where Jeff Bernard really needs to stay on it. If he wants to have a chance, he's going to need to get in this corner first.
Yeah, well, he's not going to get down here first. Shane's going to get down here first, but only by about a boat length in the Home Street on the outside. Derek, right to you.
Yeah, and Bernard, again, he cuts close inside here along that buoy, and they're close now coming out of Tire Factory turn 2, but it appears that Jimmy Shane is hanging on to this lead now more than a few boat lengths ahead. call it half a rooster tail on the outside down the Griggs backstretch.
Jimmy Shane, lap 2, 154.7. That's Jimmy Shane in the U1, a 154 turn to lap number 2.
And Jimmy Shane now is pulled away, coming down the Griggs backstretch into Shell Sun Market turn number 3. Jimmy Shane with the lead as they come off the top end of the course. Checkered flag is coming out for Heat 3 for the Unlimiteds. Shane with the lead at the exit pin. Bernard's on the inside in the Goodman Real Estate. He's pulled almost even with him, but look at Shane with that speed on the straightaway to the Mostiller start-finish line. The checkered flag is out. Jimmy Shane in the home street takes the checkered flag.
But a boat race and a message sent. Hey, he will not go away.
Jeff Bernard, 91 Goodman Real Estate, a perfect run except for that final lap in Tire Factory turn number 2. Had to back off the throttle a bit, and that cost him going on to the Griggs Ace Hardware backstretch.
But that was competitive. There's no question about it. A very competitive boat race.
Jimmy Shane again winning on the outside. And what a great view Derek Maselli has. Tire Factory turn number 2 in that Freedom Equipment rental lift.
Oh, yeah, it's a great view. You get to see him come right around that turn. And it was pretty precarious there. I want to say it was the second lap of the race.
Boat is still sitting at the dock. They haven't even tried to pull that one away. The nose is still up snug against the dock. I'll throw it back up to you guys, and I'll keep an eye on the pit area down here. But now perhaps a little bit of drama with the 91, the Goodman Real Estate.
Let's head over to Tire Factory turn number 2 and Derek Maselli for News Radio 610 KONA. The one thing that I noticed, the wind is coming right at me now, and so it's got to be right at your back as you look up towards the top end of the course.
Yeah, that's exactly the case, but the water still looks pretty smooth.
It does.
Out here, actually. So I don't anticipate, at least until maybe the guys start chopping it up themselves, as we've got a full slate of races coming up this afternoon. Right now, it's still looking pretty much like glass out there, despite what is definitely a noticeable breeze at my back now.
Here comes Kelly.
So J. Michael Kelly is away in the Lynx Healthcare, presents Miss Tri-Cities, the 9, but still Goodman Real Estate. Jeff Bernard, the 91, the Miss Madison 2, is not out from the pits.
Now, and he's still got crew members on board, and the lid is still up, so they're in trouble. They're scrambling down there. On my watch, we've got 2 minutes and 45 seconds. He's got to be out on the race course in a planing attitude at the 1 minute mark. He's got about a minute and a half.
So the boats are all on the backstretch right now. J. Michael Kelly on the inside. Now you see Jimmy Shane on the outside heading up to Sun Market turn number 3, our friends with Sun Pacific Energy. Now as the boats come around the top end of the course to the apex and to the exit pin of White's Finished Furniture and Hardwoods turn number 4, that's where they're starting to pick up that breeze head on.
So
and that's what we'll be watching.
Quickly, like Brad was saying, within a lap, maybe within this lap, they have a chance to figure it out.
Jamie Nielsen ducks through the ESCO Electric infield from back to front stretch and jumps in front of J. Michael Kelly and Jimmy Shane.
About a minute left for it to get away from the dock.
Yeah, the clock is on for Jeff Bernard and the Goodman Real Estate. Jimmy Shane's going to come down at a fairly good clip across start finish, and I think he's going to leapfrog in front. He may want an inside lane for this race. Now he's going to jump across the ESCO Electric infield to the backstretch.
Yeah, he was going way too fast to come all the way down the race course. I expect he was going to go up and cut again up at the top end. You know my timing marks. It's a minute 30, and it's a minute 30 right now. And Jamie, oh boy, he's here early, and he's trying to scruff off some time. He's staying outside the buoys. Meanwhile, down in the pit area, there's about 4 people on the deck of the black and gold.
Wow.
It does not look good as they're coming up on 15 seconds, and it doesn't look good for the Goodman Real Estate.
Jimmy Shane across the ESCO Electric DMZ to the front stretch, Brad. You called it. He's coming down the front stretch, heading to All Doors Incorporated, turn number 1. Is he going to dive across here?
Nope, he's going to come all the way down. And we're inside 1 minute. That's it for the Goodman Real Estate. They're out. You're going to have a 3-boat heat. Jamie Nielsen's going to be in lane 1 again. He's been there all weekend. See if he can make it work this time. You got him.
J. Michael Kelly setting up in lane number 2. And lane number 3 has been a good one so far for the 1, Home Street Bank and Jimmy Shane. So the boats now heading to the top end of the course with 35 seconds to the start of Unlimited Heat 4.
And to my recollection, the last 3 of these unlimited heats, all of the drivers have pretty much synchronized their marks and have gotten to the start-finish line. It's been very close, but we've had a good start on all the races except the one yesterday. Coming down the stretch, 15 seconds, 15 seconds.
Early.
Jamie Nielsen off the exit pin at turn number 4 onto the front stretch. 8 seconds. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark. It is a clean start, but the boat speeds all the way on the outside. It's going to be the home street. Jimmy Shane leading down the front stretch. J. Michael Kelly's in the tunnel in between.
Yeah, he's definitely, Shane has tightened it up a little bit. It's going to be a little tight in there for Kelly, but he's on the inside. Derek, you got a better view.
Yeah, there he is, bouncing left and right and back again. Still staying good on that outside in lane 3. Meanwhile, J. Michael Kelly, maybe half a rooster tail behind now in that lane number 2, and then hugging the inside. That missed Joker boat. It's Jamie Nielsen, where he likes to be as well, as they now work down the Griggs backstretch off towards Sun Pacific Energy, turn number 3.
Yeah, Jamie Nielsen really had to back off the throttle. He got lumpy in Tire Factory turn number 2. He backed off. J. Michael Kelly's now fallen about a half a rooster tail behind. He's in lane number 2. On the outside is your race leader. That's the one, the home street with Jimmy Shane. Beautiful turn at the top end of the course at the exit pin of turn number 4 for Jimmy Shane. Back onto the front stretch, and Kurt will have a time as he comes across the Mosteller start-finish line.
154.299 miles an hour.
That is cooking. J. Michael Kelly's hot on his heels, but he's back a rooster tail as they head to All Doors turn number 1.
Yeah, J. Michael Kelly's giving ground to Jimmy Shane. Shane's already at the apex just as Kelly gets to the entrance, Derek.
Yeah, and this is huge, guys. Remember, right now, this team with the Miss Tri-Cities, that links U9, the U8 situation that we had with that crash, they're actually not that far behind this Miss Madison crew in in the national point standings right now. So that's definitely a matchup to watch as they work now down that Griggs backstretch off toward Sun Pacific Energy turn number 3.
Yeah, and they dive into turn number 3, and it's almost a 2 rooster tail lead now for Jimmy Shane in the home street as he comes around at the apex and the exit pin of turn number 4. J. Michael Kelly trying to reel him back in, but he's not going to have enough real estate. And the boat speed, it's been just perfect all weekend long for Jimmy Shane in the Madison home street. The 1. Here comes J. Michael Kelly across start-finish line, but he's 2 rooster tails back of our race leader, Jimmy Shane.
Yeah, Shane's coming down here. He's really opened up the water now. He can drive anywhere he wants to go. Got plenty of lead on J. Michael Kelly, but he's still staying out wide. He's flying the boat at the apex, coming right to Derek.
Yeah, still at this point seems like it's really his race to lose, but now J. Michael Kelly cuts it inside on that turn, took it tight. He's still got a lot of ground to cover, probably a rooster tail and a half or so down this Griggs backstretch.
Yeah, but as we watch from across the pond, Derek, you can just see that the home street is starting to pull away on the Griggs backstretch.
Shane backing off the throttle just a touch. Lap number 2, 151. Still cooking, but not like lap number 1.
Yeah.
He's just enjoying the ride now.
It's been a good one and another great start. No, Jamie Nielsen and the Jokers has moved outside. Remember, he had lane number 1 at the start. He's moved outside into lane number 3, allowing J. Michael Kelly to get in closer to the buoy line and have some clean water. So across start-finish line in Heat 4 is the H1 U1 for the checkered flag for Jimmy Shane, and it is out. Second place finish for J. Michael Kelly in the 9. Lynx Healthcare presents Miss Tri-Cities. Jamie Nielsen just coming off of the exit pin of White's Finished Furniture and Hardwoods, turn number 4 onto the front stretch to get 3rd place points in heat number 4. And a special thanks now, we've had our changes with the heat situation, but there are a number of Waterfolly sponsors that have come together to make this possible, including Arizona Mobile Fleet, the Truss Company.
Not sure it changes it up for him. I think this is clearly the plan.
No, exactly.
Yeah, this was clearly his plan, and you know, you always want to mix it up a little bit. Don't always let your competitors know exactly what you're going to do. So he's mixed it up a little bit. Here comes Jimmy Shane, hard down the front straightaway. Boat's so light on its feet. Beautiful water conditions. His spotter will tell him there's a boat in front of him. That is J. Michael Kelly. Derek right in front of you, the blue and white.
Yeah, J. Michael Kelly leading now these 2 other Madison boats, but even though we're still in the race before the race motion, it really looks like that Home Street boat and Jimmy Shane are just content to be on the outside. I don't anticipate them trying to get any inside further than lane 3 where they're at right now.
I don't either, Derek. I think you've got it exactly right, and Jimmy kind of alluded to it. They've run this big course setup, as they talk about it, and one of the big components of that is the bigger wheel, the bigger propeller. Wind it up. It may not accelerate as fast as maybe another setup, but once they get it up to speed and he winds it up, it's proven to be really, really fast.
2 minutes and 8 seconds until the start of heat number 5 for the Unlimiteds. Oh, we've got an incursion in the Esco Electric infield through the DMZ. Is Bernard in the 91. Goodman Real Estate onto the front stretch, just in front of J. Michael Kelly. Down and down at the bottom of the course, Jimmy Shane in the home street's going to cut front to back.
Keep an eye on Kelly here. This might be a little interesting.
Minute 45.
I think Kelly would like to be on the inside, but I also think he's got to come all the way down now at a minute 40. I think they're going to have to come all the way down here to the bottom end, so I don't think Mike can move.
Watch the 80-mile-an-hour situation with the two boats coming down the front stretch.
I think they're going to be okay. They're inside a minute 30, have not yet got to the entrance pin. Bernard's going to get there in probably 2-1 mark. He is there at 1:20, so
could be good.
He'll have to play it a little bit close to the vest, Derek. He's going out a little bit wide, knowing Kelly's still outside of it.
Yeah, it really is interesting to see this. We know Shane is going to be in that number 3 lane. So the question here is this jockeying for positioning between Bernard and J. Michael Kelly. And right now, everything seems to be holding as it has been the last lap or so.
Watch on the Griggs Ace Hardware backstretch.
Shane had his foot in it for a while now. He seems to ease into a nice groove. He's been the most consistent, hitting the marks, scoring up, hitting the start-finish line right on time.
35 seconds. Heat 5 for the H1 Unlimiteds. Heading up the backstretch now, getting into turn number 3 for Sun Pacific Energy. The Shell Sun Market turn. Goodman Real Estate and Bernard. Bernard puts his foot into it. 21 seconds to the start. J. Michael Kelly in lane number 2, and the Lynx Healthcare presents Miss Tri-Cities. On the outside, Jimmy Shane in lane number 3 in the 1, Home Street Bank. And the countdown is on to heat number 5.
4, 3, 2, 1, mark.
Good start. It is a clean start. The boat speed is on the outside, as it has been all weekend long. In lane number 3, it's Jimmy Shane in the home street.
It is Jimmy Shane in the home street. But let me tell you, you can throw a blanket across all 3 of these boats as they get down here, and again, with all the boats off to the left, it is you, Derek.
Yeah, he is just sailing, Jimmy Shane, that is, along the outside. He figured he might give up a little bit on inside that Tire Factory turn number 2 to either Bernard or J. Michael Kelly, but Jimmy Shane in that Miss Home Street still able to maintain what appears maybe a boat or 2-length lead.
And we lost J. Michael Kelly in the hallway for just a minute as they were coming through the exit pin to Tire Factory turn number 2. They're up the Griggs Ace Hardware backstretch, and it's going to be the race leader on the outside, Jimmy Shane in the home street. On the inside, Jeff Bernard's going to edge in front of J. Michael Kelly. Kelly in 2, Bernard in lane 1. As they get to the exit pin of turn number 4, again, a boat to boat to boat, deck to deck to deck race right now. But on the outside, he's pulling away down the front stretch. It's Jimmy Shane in first place. Second place is Bernard, but J. Michael Kelly's going to challenge.
Yeah, J. Michael Kelly is right with him. He's back by about a boat, like maybe 2, as they get to the entrance pin. Derek, coming to you. This is anybody's race.
Oh, yeah, call him deck to deck right now. I think he might take it in this turn. He is now in second, as far as I can tell, maybe half a boat length behind Jimmy Shane out in that outside lane number 3 as they work now along the Griggs backstretch.
Boy, those 3 boats were so tight at the exit pin of Tire Factory turn number 2.
Lap number 1, 154.546, 152 for the 91. They are cooking.
And it is the lead on the outside with Jimmy Shane, but J. Michael Kelly's holding on to that second place in lane number 2, just beside him. All of the boats will even up a little bit more as they get to the exit pin of turn number 4 onto the front stretch. But Jimmy Shane able to hold that speed around the outside of the course, and he has a half a rooster tail lead over J. Michael Kelly.
Lap 2,
Can JMK challenge?
He's going to give it a go. He's back about half a rooster tail, as you said. Shane's starting to open it up a little bit, but Kelly's not going to go away. Shane to the entrance pin right now. Kelly's still right now, right with him. He doesn't have a lot of room to work with, though, Derek. He's tightened that hole.
No, this turn will be where he makes his move if he can. And again, nearly flawless performance, it seems, so far from Jimmy Shane. And now we're seeing Bernard try and creep up on that inside lane down the Griggs backstretch, potentially challenging for that second place position.
It is the final lap. Can J. Michael Kelly challenge in lane number 2 as they dive into the Shell Sun Market turn number 3 at the top end of the course? The race leaders on the outside. It's Jimmy Shane in the home street. J. Michael Kelly, he'll try to gain some ground at the exit pin of White's Finish Furniture and Hardwoods turn number 4. Onto the front stretch, it's Jimmy Shane leading. Jimmy Shane's going to pull away for the checkered flag in heat number 5. He does it again in lane number 3. The checkered flag in heat 5. Jimmy Shane in the home street. Second place, J. Michael Kelly in the 9. That's the Lynx Healthcare presents Miss Tri-Cities, and Goodman Real Estate. Jeff Bernard, the 91, finishes in 3rd place.
Interesting note, gentlemen. The fastest lap turned in by J. Michael Kelly. Lap number 2, 1:56. He was given the He was really given the U1 a run for its money there on lap number 2. He had the fastest lap of all of the boats over the course of the race.
And is our lap record here not 1:55?
Yeah, but it was 1:59 yesterday. We had that change up.
Yeah, the home street.
Yeah.
Had a 1:59 in competition yesterday.
Yeah, I'm seeing bright yellow in the water. I'm seeing some blue and white. And am I missing one down there, guys?
We've actually got 4 boats in the water right now.
All right, well, that
We've
shows
got
you.
the 9, the 1, the 91, and the 11. So
we've got a full field
yes,
of 4
as full as
for the
we're gonna
final.
get.
That's awesome, Glenn. So, Derek, what do you think?
You know, it's real hard to go against that U1 boat right now. I don't want to be accused of picking the favorites here. I did the same thing in the Grand Prix with Austin Ekrit and that beautiful boat. But, I mean, Jimmy Shane has just been flawless, and that boat has been flawless throughout what we've seen of it, taking first in every heat that they've taken part in so far this weekend. I see no reason that would change.
Perfection
necessarily.
continues?
I would think so, but, I mean, you can never truly count out J. Michael Kelly. I mean, hey, look, he took that first heat in which Jimmy Shane and the home street boat were not involved, and he's been second ever since. So he hasn't been that far behind in the U9 Lynx Miss Tri-Cities either.
Back down to the pits and our American Radiator pit reporters, Brad Luce and Glenn Vaughan.
Well, I'm going to concur with a lot of what Derek said. I think it's hard to go against Jimmy Shane, but I will give you 2 numbers, and Derek alluded to one of them. J. Michael Kelly is the only other driver out here who's gotten a number 1 to this weekend, so that must be kept in mind. And let's also remember in that 5th heat, he ran 1:56. So he's got this thing timed up pretty nicely right now, and he's got some speed. So the question is, will the number 1 stay on the outside, or will we see him go inside to try to get in front of everybody quickly? I think J. Michael Kelly's due for a good run here.
Interesting thought about the lane position and the milling period. Let's go back down to the pits and Brad Luce. Your thoughts for the final heat?
Yeah, thoughts on the final heat. I'll tell you what, I think you only get one opportunity on the weekend to pick the favorite, and I did that with awesome Austin. So I don't know if I can pick the favorite here in our H1 Unlimited final. I think Jimmy Shane goes to the outside. He's been there since we started testing on Friday morning. He qualified out there. He's run all his heats out there. And J. Michael Kelly has been sticking that thing on an inside lane. I think they've got a surprise for Jimmy. J. Michael Kelly finally gets the win he didn't get a year ago.
Wow.
How about that? We'll go out on a limb.
That's interesting.
You notice there's no money involved, right?
No, none at all.
I didn't miss that part, did I?
No, it's all conjecture.
There we go. Yes.
Kurt Cartier.
Well, this is going to be probably controversial, but I think the perfection so far of Jimmy Shane comes to a crashing halt. Not a crashing halt, that's a bad way to put it. I think he's going to go under 80 miles an hour. I think he's going to go outside of a buoy. I think he's going to jump the start.
There's going to be a mistake.
It's going to be a cascade of mistakes for the U1. All right, I'm going with Jimmy Shane. Are you kidding? The way that guy's been performing, he's a machine, jerk.
I'll tell you what, though, you bring up a good point in that Jimmy Shane has at times been his own worst enemy.
Well, you're right.
Thanks, Derek. I needed that.
But I don't think it's going to happen here.
Well,
Not at all.
One thing I'm going to say on this with regards to Jimmy Shane, the last 4 years here, he has not had a good start. He's been late and he's been shoved to the outside. I think this time he's just going to wind it up as he has all weekend, put it on the outside. I'm going with Kelly just because I think maybe they've got a surprise for him. But we're about to find out because we are inside 5 minutes to the start of the 2022 Hapo Columbia Cup. J. Michael Kelly says, thank you very much. I want to get out of here first, and he is gone. In the Lynx Healthcare presents Miss Tri-Cities, the U9. JMK's away first, and then it is a beautiful shot of 3 hydroplanes coming out side by side by side. The Goodman Real Estate U91 with Jeff Bernard, and it is Jimmy Shane in the blue and white, the Miss Home Street, followed by the U11 Jokers Casino, Jamie Nielsen. That had to be a good view coming across your way.
Yeah, and you weren't kidding, Brad. J. Michael Kelly really shot out of there, which is interesting because more often than not, I think we're used to seeing that U11 Miss Joker Casinos boat and Jamie Nielsen get the jump out of the pits.
By the way, David Schick texted he's going with the 11 Jamie Nielsen Jokers Casino. Thanks, David.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
That's not on a limb.
Yeah.
That would be a huge upset.
I think so. I think the perfection with Jimmy Shane continues. And Brad, you're right. The last 2 times with a full field, Jimmy Shane found himself with nowhere to go, right? And even washed down the 11 with Tom Thompson. Remember that?
I certainly do.
This time it's not a full field. He'll have plenty of room to settle in wherever he wants, and I think he can win in lane number 4 if he gets pushed outside.
I think he can too, and I think some of it may be, number one, the start that J. Michael Kelly might get on an inside lane of him, and then how much speed is between Kelly and Shane. If you get Shane on the far outside and maybe you get a Jeff Bernard in lane 3 who may occupy our friend Mr. Shane a little bit. We're all just talking in the hypothetical here, but right now that blue boat is the favorite. He's quick. He hasn't been able to win here, and he wants it badly.
Jimmy Shane's at Tire Factory turn number 2, heading to the Griggs backstretch.
Yeah, and he's been loving it again outside. Maybe moving a little more inward now, back and forth, but no reason to suspect that that's ultimately where he'll start the race.
Hey, Brad.
Yes.
Penny, for your thoughts.
Penny.
Winning every single heat this weekend and not doing especially well in the Tri-Cities the last couple of years, does that put additional pressure on Jimmy Shane, or is that not even an issue outside of what we're talking about right now?
I think if there is any additional pressure on Jimmy Shane, he is putting it on himself. I don't think the team is at all. Jimmy, just in the conversations I've had with him this weekend, and I've had a number of them, you're able to parse a little bit of what he says. He's very well aware of the issues he's had here over the last few years. He wants to get this right. I think if there is pressure, it's from within.
He had been near the inside of the course around the last lap, but at the top end of the course, he's now moved out wide. Now he's going to come back inside, but we've got the Goodman Real Estate with Jeff Bernard jumping across the Esco Electric infield to claim lane number 1. We're at 1:55 to the start of the Hapo Columbia Cup final heat. Hydro Race fans in the Hydro Cities, are you ready? A championship is going to be crowned. Bernard down the front stretch.
Oh, watch this. Watch this. Oh, that's right. That's Shane. He doesn't care. He's going to cut, and then he's going to come back. Jeff Bernard is early. Jeff Bernard is going to have to go real deep down here. He's at 1:33 when he got down here. He's going all the way to the course markers. Derek, watch him.
Oh, yeah, all the way outside, making the most of this turn, swinging about as close to the outside of the course as he can here.
Jimmy Shane, meanwhile, jumping back through the Esco Electric DMC across to the front stretch with 1:09 remaining on the clock.
I'm not understanding this move.
Well, it's okay. Shane's going to
He's fine.
He's going to cut the course down here. He's fine. Watch Jimmy. He'll hang a left here and watch those buoys. Wait for it. There he'll go. Now he'll move to the outside. Keep an eye on Bernard and his speed. He's got to stay over 80 miles an hour. JMK is in good shape sitting in lane number 1. You got him, Michael.
Is Jamie Nielsen going to allow Jimmy Shane to settle into lane number 3?
I'm not sure Shane would even take it if, well, of course he's going to now. Look at him, he's going to go inside.
I think you're right. I think you're right. That's exactly what happened. Nielsen did not want to move into lane number 3. He's going to stay outside.
30 seconds. 30. Mark.
So in lane number 1, Goodman Real Estate with Jeff Bernard. Lane number 2 will be J. Michael Kelly in the 9. Lynx Healthcare presents Miss Tri-Cities. Lane number 3, Jimmy Shane in the 1, Home Street. And the outside, it's going to be Joker's Casino, the 11 with Jamie Nielsen with 12. 10. You got it, Brad.
Nope, go for it.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3. They're a little bit early. Bernard's backing up throttle. 2, 1. I think Bernard was early, but Jimmy Shane is going to be the race leader heading down the front stretch. He's going to try to hold off J. Michael Kelly in lane number 2.
Yeah, he's going to have to do it from lane number 3. Kelly's back behind him, and he's on an inside lane, but I'm sure Shane's going to give him plenty of room. Coming right at you, Derek.
Oh, that he is. I mean, Shane gutting it through the turn. J. Michael Kelly not that far behind, maybe a boat or 2 length between. And you've got that Miss Joker Casino boat number 3, and Jamie Nielsen coming down in 3rd after Bernard, of course, with that early start.
He jumped.
Yeah, he did. We knew that at the start-finish line. It's clear that he did. So it is under official review. The race leader is Jimmy Shane. He's in lane number 3. He's been there all weekend long. Now, the difference here is, Brad, it's a 5-lap final. 5 laps. He'll have to hold off J. Michael Kelly on his inside. Onto the front stretch. Completing lap number 1, Jimmy Shane with the lead in the home street. Second place, J. Michael Kelly. He's passing Jeff Bernard. Bernard's on the inside in lane number 1. Jamie Nielsen is coming across start-finish line in 4th place right now. Back to turn number 1, Jimmy Shane, the race leader, and I don't know how J. Michael Kelly can chase him down in the 9. Lynx Healthcare presents Miss Tri-Cities.
Now, Kelly's giving it everything he's got, but I'm telling you, this is a tall order because Kelly's still got to be careful with Bernard in there. Even though Bernard's a lap down, officially having jumped.
Yeah, and Jimmy Shane again maintaining he's got about a rooster tail length lead, at least heading along the Griggs backstretch. It is interesting though seeing him in lane 3 instead of 4, with Jamie Nielsen opting to take that outside lane. Whether or not that's going to play into the comfort level or timing for Jimmy Shane really doesn't seem that way now as they head into Sun Pacific Energy turn 3.
Now ready to complete lap number 2 of the Hapo Columbia Cup 2022. Thanks to Hapo Community Credit Union. On the front stretch, it's Jimmy Shane in the 1, Home Street. Across the start-finish line, unfortunately, we are not getting our speed monitor. We don't know the lap speeds. Across now is J. Michael Kelly in the 9. Lynx Healthcare presents Miss Tri-Cities. And then in the Goodman Real Estate, Jeff Bernard in the 91.
Yeah, Jimmy Shane's already down here, and now J. Michael Kelly has moved to the outside. He had enough of trying to fight that slop on an inside lane, but now he's driving a much bigger course.
Yeah, and again now technically a lap ahead of Bernard, but that's still a boat that he's got to watch out for as he now tries to pass Bernard in the U91, going on the outside, trying to keep pace as best he can with Jimmy Shane.
So J. Michael Kelly was a little bit tired of being inside the tunnel there and decided to bounce outside a little bit to get some cleaner water and a cleaner look. It's lap number 3 for the Hapo Columbia Cup into White's Finished Furniture and Hardwoods turn number 4. Our Buffalo Brothers friends at turn number 4 at the exit pin. It's the race leader, Jimmy Shane in the 1, Home Street Bank. Miss Madison coming across the Mosteller start-finish line now.
And it's really a shame that the 91 jumped to start finish, because we would have had we could be having a heck of a boat race for 2nd place, but unfortunately with jumping the gun, it's a lap down.
Yeah, Shane's down here right now. He's got a 2.5, 3 rooster tail lead over J. Michael Kelly. I think Kelly's throwing in a towel on this one. If we know that Bernard has jumped the gun, so does Mike.
It's amazing how strong Jeff Bernard has continued to run, especially through the Slop and Tire Factory turn number 2. Wow, that boat was hopping out of the water. Up the Griggs backstretch into the Sun Pacific Energy Shell Sun Market turn number 3. The race leader, Jimmy Shane. He'll have about a lap and a quarter left to complete to take the checkered flag. The final heat for the Hapo Columbia Cup. Out of turn number 3, into turn number 4. Jimmy Shane to the front stretch. The boat has looked just absolutely perfect all weekend long.
It's been a
no
flawless
exception
weekend.
Here.
Flawless weekend. 1 lap to go. The white flag is out as he crosses the start-finish line.
Jimmy Shane, the race leader in the home street, Miss Madison. Boy, Jeff Bernard, he just won't go away, even though he jumped the gun at the beginning of the race.
Yeah, well, Jimmy Shane's not going away either. He's just going away from everybody here. However, Derek, bring our leader around.
And he is coming around Tire Factory. Turn number 2 now, bobbling a little bit on that turn, but he's got such that lead right now, at least a 2 Rooster Tail lead over J. Michael Kelly, who's gunning it along the Griggs backstretch, trying to get this thing as close as possible as they prepare to head into Sun Pacific Energy Turn 3.
And the Joker's Casino boat, Jamie Nielsen with 1 lap to go, just came across the Mosteller start-finish line. Back to the Sun Pacific Energy Shell Sun Market turn number 3. Wall of water off the skid pin one more time for Jimmy Shane in the Miss Madison. Home Street Bank, U1 to the exit pin at turn number 4 and onto the front stretch. The checkered flag is out.
There is no monkey on the back anymore. The first of the 2 Washington double dip is complete.
Checkered flag, Jimmy Shane in the home street, your 2022 champion for the Hapo Columbia Cup. Second place finished the 9, J. Michael Kelly. Lynx Healthcare presents Miss Tri-Cities. For Jeff Bernard, he jumped the gun and has to make an additional lap. Jamie Nielsen.
It's everything you wished for. Your site traffic is skyrocketing until this happens.
If this stands and goes through tech inspection, Jamie Nielsen. 1 minute. 1 minute to the start of our first heat of match racing here on Saturday at the Home Street Bank Cup at Seafair. Up the backstretch, Jamie Nielsen driving the 11, the old Cannery Furniture Warehouse. Your teammate, J. Michael Kelly, behind him, and to his right, he will stay on the outside.
He will be on the outside in that Boitano Homes boat, but he's going to come with a full head of steam at that start finish, I guarantee you.
Top end of the race course. Again, the idea, put your boat on the line, full song, with a lot of clean water, and right when the clock strikes 0. Top end of the race course, coming up on 20 seconds until our start. This is where the timing marks are really critical. How long does it take you to get from the exit pin to the start finish line? Nielsen is at that exit pin right now. Kelly's coming on the outside. We are inside 10 seconds until our start. We're inside 5. We are 4, 3, 2 seconds, 1 mark. And we are racing here in our first heat of match racing at the Home Street Bank Cup at Seafair. And it's Nielsen with a good start, Corey. He's down there with about a 2-boat length lead.
He has rolling that boat down to that first turn. It's a good start. They got Mike on the outside. Jamie's out front right now. I can see Mike in the Rooster Tail, but Jamie is leading this race right now.
And it's only a 2-lap shootout, and it is the old Cannery Furniture Warehouse and Jamie Nielsen on the outside. But you could see J. Michael Kelly coming on the outside. I think we can see him a little bit on the angle now. When they get to the exit pin, they're going to be dead even, and there is Mike with him. Perfect racing here to begin our racing action on the Ted Jones race course. They're going to come down to put the first lap into the book, and it looks like Kelly may have gotten around Nielsen, but Nielsen, Corey, he's got that all-important inside lane.
He's going to make up some ground on that inside lane for sure. J. Michael is flying that boat like you wouldn't believe. He's coming in, about to make his turn at the entrance with Jamie on the inside, but Jamie's not going away, and Jamie will not go away. So let's see what happens when he comes out of this turn. There's Jamie in the lead. There's Mike coming around the corner. So it's going to be a great next lap.
Deck-to-deck racing here to open our show with the H1 Unlimiteds on the water in the match race. This is the final lap. Remember, these are 2-lap shootouts, so they're going to come down and pick up the checkered flag. Kelly now has opened up about 3 or 4 boat lengths at the top end of the race course, but to Corey Peabody's point, Jamie Nielsen is not going to go away. He's going to stay tight to the buoy row and charge to the start-finish line, but it looks like J. Michael Kelly will have enough to hold him off. Kelly driving the Boitano Homes is going to be our first victor in our match racing today. The old Cannery Furniture Warehouse, the U11, and Jamie Nielsen will come home in second place. Corey, that was awesome.
That was a great first heat. I'm telling you, I bet you anything I can go down there and talk to Mike, and he's going to say he was stressed out beyond belief. Those 2 laps are hard. They're scary. You want the win, but you just want to get that win for your team, but there's not a lot of time to make up. So that was a great heat.
Now, the match race format. We start talking about it a little bit. So J. Michael Kelly moves on. He moves on to the next round. But Jamie Nielsen is not out of this yet. He gets one more chance in a last chance heat to make it into the final. This is what I like about this format. We get some racing on the water, gets the blood pumping a little bit. We've already got boats dumped in the water now for our upcoming heat, so the racing continues. Let's put 2 more out there and do it again. I liked it.
If you like doing outdoor activities, then you will love this because we're giving our exclusive outdoor mystery boxes.
So they will go down through the lower end of the race course here and up to the top end. Next time they cross start finish line, we'll be racing in our 2-lap shootout format. We are inside 1 minute to the start, 50 seconds. I like where they are, Corey.
Yeah, they're in perfect spot. Jeff's up there. He's going to get he's got a little bit of lead on Jimmy. Jimmy's starting to speed it up a little bit, but they'll get up there to about 125 maybe to the entrance, I'm thinking. Maybe a little bit, maybe 120. We'll see, but they're going to come off that entrance, and then they're going to, let's see where we're at, 125, yeah, 25. They're going to hit that exit, and they're going to be on the throttle.
Coming up on 20 seconds to the start. You heard Corey say he likes where they are. The idea, put your boat on the start-finish line when the clock strikes 0 and have a boatload of boat speed. It's Bernard in 1. It's Shane in 2. We're inside 10 seconds. Want to hit the line at full song. Inside 5 seconds. We're 3, 2 seconds, 1. Mark. And we are racing here in heat 2 of our shootout. And Corey Peabody, they come down to the lower corner. They're dead even at the entrance bend.
It's been a good start. So Jeff Bernard in lane 1 comes into the turn and comes out of turn 1 in first place. Jeff's going to dump that wing and keep that boat floating. But you can see Jimmy on the outside there. You see that powder blue coming at him.
Look at the acceleration of the powder blue home street. Jimmy Shane showing a lot of speed up the backstretch, but he's now not walking away at the top end speed at the top end of the race course. Remember, we only go around twice, and Jeff is right with him. He's about a boat length and a half back. Shane leaving him plenty of room, driving him clean. They come off the top end of the race course. Home Street Bank on the outside. Goodman Real Estate on the inside. They complete lap number 1. There's only 1 more to go, Corey.
1 more to go. Jeff better get, because he needs to go. Jimmy is rolling down that front stretch going into turn 1. We'll see how it comes out of this corner. We can't see with the rooster tail and all the water flying, but Jeff Bernard is still out front right now, so Jimmy's got to make up some ground coming up this backstretch.
And this is the importance of that inside lane we've been talking about. You see the blue air scoop of the home street from our angle here. He's moving out a little bit on Jeff, but it's close. That inside lane is so important and so valuable. Jeff is right with him, just as he was the previous lap. He's about 2, maybe 3 boat lengths back. Now it's going to be pure acceleration up the top end of the course. Bernard paints the buoy in the goal in the Goodman Real Estate, but I think he's going to give it up to Jimmy Shane in the home street. But this one is close, but the victory will go to the U1, the home street Jimmy Shane. Just too much speed, but Corey Peabody, another outstanding 2-boat, 2-lap duel in our shootout.
That was a great race for the Miss Madison team. Both boats did it. They hung it out there. They gave a great show for the fans. And what a run by Jeff Bernard. Very impressed. And hopefully he can keep that going and get that win in the match final. They can slow down and they can get up here. And they'll start putting their foot into it here pretty soon, because they should have been at the, if they were 80 mile an hour, they would have been at that entrance right there at 30 seconds, and they're there at 20. So you're actually going to get to see a pretty decent start, I believe, when they pop off this exit buoy.
It is time to go. It's heat 3 of the showdown format. Boitano Homes and J. Michael Kelly, Beacon Plumbing, and Dave Villwalk inside 10 seconds to the start. We are 3 seconds, 2, 1. Mark, it looks like Dave Villwalk's going to get the jump in the U40. Beacon Plumbing getting across the start finish line first. Got a mighty nice looking boat ride, but Kelly's right with him on the inside. Back about 3 boat lengths, Corey.
It's a good start. It's a legal start, and Dave Villwalk on the outside there showed J. Michael Kelly just what kind of speed he has. He's rolling up that backstretch with Mike on his inside, but man, Dave Villwalk is just flying that boat.
He is flying a boat. He's got about a 3-boat length lead at the 3/4 mark of the backstretch in front of all those boats in the longboat. But you see the importance of that inside lane. Look at Kelly hang right with him. He's back about 2 boat lengths. That is all. Villwalk driving him clean, leaving him plenty of room on the inside lane. Now they're going to put down the first one in the book. They get the white flag. There's only 1 more to go. But Dave Villwalk is course, by JMK. You mentioned it going up the backstretch that he had great top end speed. He was able to carry that speed into the corner, pull up alongside, and he actually, at one point, I think, had a slight lead over Dave. But with that darn acceleration out of that 40 that got him to the finish line just ahead of Mike. That was good.
That was a great heat. Way to go, guys.
Yes. Jamie's got to come rolling all the way down. See what Jeff Bernard does behind him. Then J. Michael Kelly coming up behind the pack. Anything you look for here, Corey?
I'm just looking at Jamie and thinking he's got it either right at 80 miles an hour, but he's early in my eyes. Jeff's been in a good spot. Mike's in the best spot, if you ask me.
But if they stay in these lanes,
well, you see Jamie, he just went way out. So he's trying to scrub as much speed as he can. So Mike's right on the buoys, and Mike's in the best spot. Even Jeff's going up there. So Mike's looking good.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting up the backstretch. This is that fight for lane piece to the puzzle. We are inside 1 minute to the start. 1 minute. And right now we're down to 50 seconds. 3 boats. We're going to go 2 times around the race course. We're fighting for lanes. First and second place finishers are going to join our field in the winner-take-all final. Up the backstretch now with 39 seconds. Still Jamie out in front of the pack, then Jeff, then Mike. We'll see how they fan out in the lanes when they come down off the top end of the race course.
Jamie was able to do a pretty good job at scrubbing a lot of speed, but he's going to come around that corner, and these guys are going to go blowing by him when at the start because he's pretty early.
But he's going to leave it in lane 1. So Jamie is going to sit in lane number 1, still coming down with 14 seconds. Looks like Jeff's going to run in lane 2. JMK is going to be on the outside. Looking at the watch, we're inside 10 seconds. Here comes the count. Here comes the boat speed. We are 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2, 1. Mark. And it's going to be Jeff Bernard with the boat speed from lane 2. He's going to roll by Nielsen. So is J. Michael Kelly. The start is under review, Corey. So we got to monitor the radio, but all 3 of them hit the corner together. But Jeff Bernard had a beauty of a start if it was legal.
He was out there. He was up. He was the first one across the line, I believe, but I can't tell from where we are. But Jamie's running a great race there in the lane 1, but Jeff is really pulling away from all these guys.
Yeah, Jeff pulling away, and you can see J. Michael Kelly on the outside. You can see him through the booster tail of Jeff Bernard and the Goodman Real Estate. And they have a penalty on the U11. The old Cannery Furniture Warehouse has jumped the gun. The other 2 boats are apparently legal. So it is Jeff Bernard coming down to put 1 in the books. And again, Corey, there's only 1 more to go. This is a 2-lap shootout.
That's right. So right now, these guys are going for it. So Jamie jumping the gun, and these 2 are automatically in the final. So they need to make sure they watch their lights and keep their run legal so nobody gets kicked out after the gun jump of Jamie.
So this is the final lap, and if we have the information about the U11, so do our 2 drivers out front, Jeff Bernard and J. Michael Kelly. Remember, both of them would advance to the final should they finish in this order. But right now, it is the Goodman Real Estate and Jeff Bernard by about a rooster tail and a half up the backstretch over J. Michael Kelly running on the outside. He's running a bigger race course than everybody else. Knowing Mike, he's going to give this a valiant effort, but I think also at some point he's just got to say, go ahead, go. I'll take the second place in advance. Here comes your apparent winner of our last chance heat. It is Jeff Bernard in the U91 Goodman Real Estate. Nice boat rate, flying it as he comes across start finish. Then it is J. Michael Kelly finishing in second place. Jamie Nielsen will come down and finish in third. We are being told by the official Jamie does not have to run an extra lap. They're not going to make him take a third lap. So that was the finish right there. The U91 in first place, Goodman Real Estate. Second goes to J. Michael Kelly in the U9. That's the Boitano home. And the U11 Old Cannery Furniture Warehouse will come home third. That's on the water. They've still got to go through tech inspection.
There's another part of this, which is the tech truck. So, you know, nothing's official until it's actually official. These, they got to watch their lights, they got to watch their fuel, their N2s, and all that stuff. There's a lot going on in these cockpits of these boats, and it's very stressful when you're trying to run these types of speeds on the rules that we have. And watching the fuel and watching the N2 while you're driving these boats, and also driving around people, it's pretty difficult. Yeah, Dave's cutting the course at 3 minutes 25 seconds. He's going to come in here. He's got to watch out for Jimmy right here. Dave does not have a lane right now until he passes 2 buoys. That's per the rule book. So let's pay attention to that. Right now, where Dave is could be Jimmy's lane until he passes those 2 buoys.
This is Chris and his Capital One Venture X business card. Together, they're making mountain-sized.
So Jimmy's going to continue hard down here to the lower corner. Dave will let him go and stay on an inside line. Meanwhile, coming slowly down the front straightaway, your teammate, J. Michael Kelly, driving the U9 Boitano Homes, and cutting the course behind him is Jeff Bernard in the 91, the Goodman Real Estate. So looking at the watch here, I got 2:45, 42:45 to our start.
You see Mike coming down here. He's probably going to try and get to the entrance around 2:30, 2:33. It'll be 2:36. So I think he's going to exit